This is KGW News at Sunrise.
We have a developing situation in Longview. That's where this industrial fire has been burning for hours and hours and hours. How that could affect Portland's air quality.
And new public camping rules take effect in Washington County this Friday. It is a first for the county, but similar to many of the ordinances already in effect in the metro area.
And check out this live picture from photographer Eric Patterson looking out at Mount Adams.
Wow.
Yes, we're in Hood River at the Hood River Lavender Farm. One of the most beautiful places on the planet. We'll be checking in with all there is to see and do up there throughout the morning.
What a way to start a Wednesday. Loving that shot from Eric. We'll be taking another look out at Hood River at that lavender farm in a bit. But first, man, we got some air quality issues in downtown Portland.
A lot of people smelling the smoke in the air. You'll notice that when you wake up, depending on where you live. We begin with the fact that air quality in parts of Clark and Multnomah County are being reported as unhealthy. This is the red dots you see right here, and this is all from the fire up in Longview. We have a north wind direction with this, and if you look at the little arrows, that's coming down from the north. That fire is not big enough to really show up on our smoke tracking map. I just wanted to show you the north wind direction, which is the reason that we are smelling the smoke. Now, if you look in the sky, this is looking northeast from the top of the Wells Fargo building. A little orange glow right there, but you can't really visibly see any noticeable smoke from that vantage point. But again, unhealthy air quality to start the day in parts of Multnomah and Clark County. You can smell the smoke out there. We're at 65 degrees. Otherwise, today's just a sunny, hot one, 80 at noon, and we get up to about 94 for a high temperature. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Rod.
So now to our top story. The Clackamas County Sheriff's Office has lifted all evacuation orders for a fire burning in Molalla. It is now under control. It started as a grass fire around 3:30 yesterday afternoon. It took firefighters about 3 hours to get a handle on that fire. No homes were damaged. No one was hurt. The cause of that fire is under investigation.
Now we have the latest on the homeless crisis. Starting Friday, there will be a new public camping ordinance in effect in Washington County. It complies with the new state law clarifying when and where people can camp if there's no shelter available. The intention is to spell out how police, housing staff, and outreach workers can regulate camping. Ordinance 896 applies to unincorporated areas. It prohibits camping on public property and restricts people from staying in a single location for more than 5 days. Violators could be cited or arrested for criminal trespass. Again, these changes will start this Friday. Washington County will check in with the community in 6 months to see how things are going.
And we have new information this morning on the results of Portland's 90-day reset on the Central Eastside. The reset started January 26th. Since then, the city removed nearly 75 total square feet of graffiti. More than 800 campsites were assessed. A few hundred unsanctioned camps were removed. The group Solve removed almost 5,000 pounds of trash, and the city wrapped more than 200 trees and lights. Central Eastside businesses pushed the city for improved safety during a forum in November.
One of our employees on his way into our central kitchen was held up at gunpoint, a gun in his face as he walked in to make ice cream.
Like everyone in this room, we deal daily with feces, human, on our shoes. We deal with break-ins. We deal with assaults.
So as you may recall, these 90-day resets are part of the city's attempts to revitalize each of Portland's neighborhoods by improving safety.
Now to a side of Portland's drug crisis we don't often see, but this is definitely heartbreaking. A mother from Arizona is in town this morning looking for her daughter who started abusing drugs and is now homeless. This is Shannon Starr. Her 28-year-old daughter, Jade, moved to Portland with a friend 4 years ago. She had her own apartment and was a manager at her job. But Shannon says Jade eventually started using drugs and about a year ago became homeless. For the last 8 weeks, Shannon has spent each and every day looking for Jade. She had to take a leave of absence from work to do it, and that leave ends this week. KGW's Blair Best went with Shannon to Southeast 4th and Harvey Milk here in downtown Portland, a spot her daughter often camps.
It could be. Pax, it is her. Sweetheart. What? Oh no, it's not my daughter. Are you okay? You need some water? I thought it was her, but it's not. The same, because she cut her hair. I go like this, and now it's a low. So that it's like this emotional up and down every day.
Blair actually did find Jade last week while she was working on another story. You can watch her full report on one mother's fight to break the cycle. It's up right now on KGW.com and our KGW YouTube page.
And you know what? There are so many important perspectives and stories that we would like to share. If you know of a community we should talk to or a story that needs to be told, you can text us or call us at the number right there on your screen, 503-226-5088. We always love to hear from you.
You send the state police to get me, hell's coming to visit you personally.
The Oregon senator who made that statement to his colleagues back in 2019 has just won a court case. After that rant during a Republican walkout, Brian Boquist was told he couldn't come to the Capitol without giving lawmakers 12 hours notice. Now the Oregonian is reporting a judge has ruled that decision violated Boquist's First Amendment rights. This all started during a GOP walkout in Salem when lawmakers were voting on a cap and trade bill. At the time, then Governor Kate Brown said she might send in state police to force Republicans back to work. That's when Boquist doubled down on his previous statement.
Well, I'm quotable. So here's the quote. This is what I told the superintendent. Send bachelors and come heavily armed. I'm not going to be a political prisoner in the state of Oregon. It's just that simple.
Boquist later sued, which led to this week's decision. According to the Oregonian, the judge said both sides were engaged in, quote, performative politics. Boquist was awarded $1, and the state will now have to pay his legal fees.
Okay, we are headed live out to Hood River. This is where our Eric Patterson is this morning. Lucky duck you. So he is at the Hood River Lavender Farm. Beautiful, so gorgeous. Love that purple. This is located off Fletcher Drive. It is a U-pick. All that U-pick action happening now. And you can kind of see, I think, Mount Hood, the top of Mount Hood there in the distance. So they also sell lavender products like soaps and lotions, and they've got a lavender festival every single Saturday and Sunday of this month. The spot is locally owned and operated since 2003. We've got more live looks throughout the morning. Such a great way to start our Wednesday. And we'll be checking back in with Eric soon.
We want to let you know that right after Rod does his forecast, we will be giving you the very latest on that Weyerhaeuser fire up in Longview. You've been talking about the smoke that we're seeing in the area.
Let's get back to air quality for a moment. We started our show by telling you it's unhealthy in spots of Multnomah and parts of Clark County. This is a post from the National Weather Service that came out just a little bit ago on their Facebook page. And this gives you a lot of reporting sites. You can see in downtown Portland back into much of parts of Washington County, I should say. The yellow is moderate air quality. You get out toward Troutdale on the east side, it's unhealthy. And then much of Clark County being reported as unhealthy air quality at this time. And the Weather Service, now a lot of this is going to depend on the fire activity and how long it continues up in that industrial site in Longview. It's a timber fire in part. And the Weather Service estimating that the smoke could be hanging around throughout much of the day, again, dependent on that fire activity. And we have our Tim Gordon on the way up there to give us a live report coming up here shortly. All right, here's a view from the Wells Fargo camera, and you can see it's clear up top, minus the fact that we have the smoke. And the smoke is definitely something you will notice and smell from Portland up to the north as you begin your day. It's 59 up in Kelso right now. I haven't picked up any camera, and I've been looking that just says, wow, that's definitely smoke in the air from the vantage point that I have. Like yesterday, there are some cool spots. It's 46 in Newport. It's 44 out in Baker City and 48 in Burns. And like yesterday, no storm chance anywhere, and everybody across our state will get the sunshine, including the coast. Futurecast shows that. 9 o'clock this morning, it's picking up a little bit of a fog layer, marine layer that's basically offshore from Newport. Otherwise, nothing going on. That goes away and temperatures will be warming up. Remember, today we anticipate getting back up into the 90s, and we could still be in the 90s inland areas tomorrow. Now tomorrow, Futurecast does pick up a noticeable marine layer and some fog at the coast. This is Thursday at 8:30 in the morning, but otherwise, a lot of that could go away as well. So we're pretty quiet. We're just dealing with the return of hot temperatures. So here we go for today. It was 89 in Salem yesterday. Today, 95 expected. Remember Corvallis, the model was saying could be 90 degrees on Tuesday, and it was. Today, 91, sunny and hot. Generally, it's a light north-northwest wind, 5 to 15, and it's that north wind direction that has pulled the smoke down from Cowlitz County across Clark and into Multnomah and parts of Washington counties at this hour. Up in Longview, by the way, you are expected to join the heat party. 92 today. Battleground about the same. Vancouver, 94. Again, north-northwest winds at 5 to 15 miles per hour. Across the rest of our state, 60s and 70s at the coast. The Dow's up to 100 degrees, so that's going to be something that workers out in the fields will have to, or out in the outdoors, I should say, will have to keep an eye on. Could be 100 degrees in the 3 o'clock hour out in Wasco County today. All right, for the Rose City, we'll go 94 today, hottest of the bunch. 92 Thursday, potentially still 90 on Friday. I still think we're in the 80s for the weekend. And there is a push of marine air coming in right now, showing up on the models Monday night into Tuesday. That would knock us, at least for a day, back down into the 70s. And that's your forecast for now.
Okay, thank you so much, Rod.